Climate policies provide opportunities to restore hope, to create quality jobs that contribute to reductions in greenhouse gas emissions. For unions, major investments are needed in order to develop long-term sustainable industrial policies. Through these policies, decent and green jobs will be preserved and created. Workplaces will become greener, and new green technologies will be developed and deployed on a wider scale.
We believe that public policies are very important. Through them, we can create green jobs. When a government makes excellent public transport a priority, then we will need less cars. Jobs can be created when we make buildings that are environmentally friendly.
The German Alliance for Work and the Environment is an example of how together the fight against climate change can become a successful economic opportunity.
There are already 1.8 million people working in the environmental sector. These are already more than people are working in the whole German automobile industry.
In 1998, German trade unions created a program to renovate existing buildings by energy-saving and efficiency measures like insulation and advanced heating technologies. To make it possible, they created an alliance with the government, environmental NGOs and employers' federations. Everyone has benefited.
The oil consumption will go down with an 80% reduction. The carbon dioxide emission will go down with an 80% reduction. You will feel as well that the heating costs will go down with an 80% reduction.
So far, 300,000 flats have been renovated, creating about 200,000 jobs and an estimated reduction in carbon dioxide emissions of 1 billion tons. The results have been so impressive that the government now wants to triple the size of the program. Green jobs can make a major contribution to clean economic development and poverty reduction. While employment protection has sometimes been given as a reason for not engaging in emission reduction, available data shows that climate change mitigation produces positive net employment effects. A Green Jobs Conference in Washington, D.C., sponsored by the United Steelworkers Union, brings together the key elements for the construction of a new Blue-Green Alliance.
This is where we're going to make it clear that it's not asset bubbles and credit crunches and currency manipulations that will drive this agenda in the future. It's going to be an agenda where we understand that we'll all do better when we all do better at being green.
The environmental agenda of the 21st century is not any longer to clean up after those who have created a mess. Environmentalism in the 21st century is about the jobs in our economies of tomorrow and where our children are going to find a way to make a living on a planet which is rapidly losing its very capacity to sustain us.
In Australia, trade unions are answering the call for change by demanding new opportunities for decent and green jobs.
We need to get over how much is it going to cost, because I think there's a greater cost to the environment if we don't do anything.
The fight against climate change will not only imply new jobs in new sectors. A lot has to be done in order to green existing workplaces and occupations. Since almost 3/4 of global greenhouse gases come from the manufacturing, energy, transport and construction sectors, workplace actions will be crucial in order to drive the changes in these fields.
Well, unions are placed at the core of production, so as such they have a role to play in terms of reforming workplaces and proposing the ways we can gain in efficiency, we can gain the use of resources. If they do not provide an environmental sustainability to their products or to their production, their jobs their jobs are at risk. We need to give a future to those jobs, and the only way is producing something that will last.
In Britain, the Trade Union Congress promotes initiatives to reduce energy consumption in the workplace. They hold Green Open Days, provide training for union environmental representatives, and support negotiations with management. From reducing emissions in the workplace to reducing emissions on the way to work, Spanish unions promote sustainable mobility by providing information on bus schedules, bicycle paths, and carpooling opportunities. They're also advocating for the construction of new metro lines that improve access to industrial sites.
Sustainable transport has to be useful for the society. It has to guarantee the rights of those in need so that those with less options can also have access to public transport in terms of price and availability.
This vision would transform the transport sector, which today accounts for 26% of world energy use and 23% of greenhouse gas emissions. Change is possible if everyone plays a part and makes sure that past mistakes are corrected.
We will promote renewable energy wherever is possible.
We will fight for better building codes that will save energy.
우리는 우리 일터에서 온실가스 배출을 감축하겠습니다.
Let's reduce CO2 if we can.
We'll work for a Green New Deal to stop global warming.
Vamos promover os empregos do futuro.
We can make sure words become action and hope becomes a reality.
The town of Webuye in western Kenya, population 250,000, of which 60% live below the poverty line. In 2008, the main employer in the region, Pan Paper Mill, shut down and 1,500 forestry workers were unemployed. Now, local affiliates of the Building and Woodworkers Union are encouraging a new beginning, one that includes a wide-ranging forestry program as a solution. The program set up water springs and a comprehensive forestry initiative to provide seedlings, stabilize water resources, support reforestation efforts, and transform the community's outlook in the process.
I happen to be a mathematics teacher, so I did some quick mathematics. If you work out the mathematics, actually you find that although it takes 10 years, but what you can get from the tree is much more than an acre of sugarcane or maize and whatever. Any portion of land that I buy is one to plant trees.
32 families in the village have gone from paper mill employees to forestry entrepreneurs, who now share a very different vision of the importance of their environment and its role in the fight against climate change.
I learned with this, you can help develop your country. Besides the economy, we shall have a very purified atmosphere, and therefore it won't be bad.